Welcome, Lee here from Play Guitar Academy with another Why They Work lick video. I'm going to take 5 sweet blues licks. You know, the major side of the blues, the way B.B. King and John Mayer play them. And I'm going to be turning the tables so you can learn why they work. And when you understand them, they become yours to use in all sorts of different situations. But before we get started, to get the most out of these lick lessons, we need to open up the entire fretboard and stop just playing in 1 or 2 patterns. So take a second to click the link in the description and download my free Big 4 scale pattern worksheet. That way you can change your guitar playing and start feeling comfortable playing all over the fretboard. Okay, let's get started learning the sweet blues licks today. I'm playing in the key of C, and each lick is based on a different pattern of the major pentatonic scale. But they may not stay there. You might hear other sounds like the blues scale and the minor pentatonic blended in. Lick number 1 here, we're going to be basing this off of the major pentatonic pattern 1. So that's going to start with your pinky at the 8th fret. And if we take a look at the lick, it sounds a little like this. Okay, we're going to start off with the 8th fret on the high E string. I'm doing kind of a hybrid picking with this lick here, so I'm pulling that with my middle finger. And the rhythm, we have a dotted quarter and an 8th notes. 1, 2, and. 1, 2, and. Add the vibrato. Very, very cool. And then we have a rest, 8th note rest. Now we start sliding into the 7th fret on the D string. And this is the A note, that's the 6th degree of the scale. And we're gonna go up to the root, the C, and then but back to that A again. So far we have. Now, from this A that we just ended up on, we're gonna go an octave higher, and we're gonna hit that A on the high E string at the 5th fret. Now, I'm gonna use my 3rd finger for this, and I'll show you why, because our next note here is the 4th fret. That's the flat 3rd here. That's a minor 3rd. And we want to bend that up into the major 3rd here. So that is an E flat coming up into E. So there's our A on the high string, 3rd fret. We're going to take our 1st finger and bend that up a half step so we match our major 3rd. And then we're going to end on the root note with some vibrato. So when we bend with that 1st finger, that leaves our 2nd finger free to just come straight down and hit that root note. And all together. So in pattern 2, we're still in the key of C, but now we're using C major pentatonic. Pattern 2 as our basis for this, but we're not going to stay there for long, as you'll see. We're going to start on an A note, very similar to the last one that we played. Start on an A and going to the root. So that's 10 on the B string. That's our A note, and then high E string, our C note, our root note at the 8th fret. Now, our next note here in this little triplet, 8th note, 8th fret, 10th fret, and then 10th fret with a half step bend, which makes that D note an E flat. What's E flat in the key of C? It's the minor 3rd. So right at that bend, the last note in this measure, we're taking a little detour into the minor pentatonic scale. And as we go to our next note, which is the 11th fret, we're going to bend that a full step. That goes up to an F. So that note, that's in the minor pentatonic too. That's the 4th. That's not even in the major pentatonic scale. So we have, so far, big bend up to that F. Now, when we come back, we're going to just walk our way back to what we've done before. We're going to go back to the 10 and bend a half step to that minor 3rd. So it was, and go to the 8th fret, root note, And to end it, we're going to go back to the 10 with up into the minor third with the half step bend and back to the 8. Okay, let's take a look at lick number 3. 1, 2, 3. 2, 3. Let's try it again. 1, 2, 3. 2, 3. That's a cool lick. Okay, so let's take a look here. We're starting off on the 12th fret of the G string. That's a G. That's the 5th. And then we're going to the root next on the 13th fret, the C on the B string there. Both of those notes, strong notes. So nothing crazy going on there. But now we go down, we start on an A note. That's the 6th. You're seeing that in all of these licks. A lot of the A note in the key of C. So 6 to root. That's the 10th fret on the D string. Now we're going to go to another A, but we're going to approach it from underneath. We're going to go to the 5th degree scale. That's the G string, 12th fret, and bend up to that A. So a lot of that sweet sound. Next, we have a bunch of 16th notes. And we're taking the 12th fret, which is a D note, bending it up a half step. That's the minor third. Back down to the 2nd, back down to the root. So that's E flat, D, C, A, 12th fret on the A string, back to C. And then we end this off with a 12th fret, an A note, that's our 6th. And then we're going to take that D again. We're going to bend the D string 12th fret, but this time bend it up to the major third. We're going to end on that very consonant major third. Now this is a tough bend. This is on the D string. So if you have to bend, especially if your strings are have a lot of tension, you might have to bend way too far. You might end up off the side of the fretboard. So if you have to bend down towards the floor, that's fine. I have enough room on this guitar. And I like to end it with a little vibrato there too. 1, 2, 3. Okay, let's take a look at this note. We're using pattern 4 in C major pentatonic. And our first note is the 14th fret, and there's that A again. And it's part of a triplet here. So we have a rest in the beginning of these 8th note triplets. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, bop bop. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's a quick. So we're going from A to C again, just like in all the other ones. And now we go to the D note and bend up all the way to a major third. So it's a bend and a release. And then 2 root notes after that. And now we're going to take a little blues scale into this thing. So we have 13, that is our F. And then 14 is our F sharp, back to F, and back to E flat. So this is kind of a minor pentatonic, but we have this sharp 4, flat 5 in there as well too, part of the blues scale. I do it as a hammer-on and pull-off. Ending up on the root note here, down to the A again, 14, and then we're going to go to the D note again. This is the 15th fret on the B string, and give it a full bend up to the major third. 1, 2, 3, 4. So can you hear the blues scale is in there just for one beat? 1, 2, 3, 4. Two, 3. Okay, let's take a look at pattern 5. We're starting on the 14th fret. That's our A. Going to 17th fret. That's our C again. So that A to C, you're going to see a lot in these sweet blues licks. But we're giving a big vibrato to the root note. So it's 14, 17. This is on the G string. 14, 17, 14, 17. Every time you hit 17, a kind of wide vibrato. Now we're going back to the 14th, the A, but we're heading over to the 15th on the B string. That's a D note, and we're going to bend it full. That bends it up to an E, which is the major third. And we're going to do that with the second finger. That's a tough bend. And you can play the E and try and match it. Next, we're going up to the 17th fret. This is our E note, but it's going to bend a step and a half. Step and a half to there is our G note, which is the 5th of the chord, right? So we're bending up to the 5th. That's a big bend, but it's on a B string. It's not that difficult if you have light strings. Then we're going back to the D note and giving it a half step bend, which is to the minor third. And then we're going back to the root, to the A, and then we're going to end on the minor third bend again. That's the 15th fret on the B string. So we're blending in this minor third and major third. The first time we play the D note on the B string, the 15th fret, we bend it up full to the major third. The second time and the third time we bend it up a half step, which is the minor third, right? So all together. Thanks for playing along today, and thanks to all of our Academy members over at PlayGuitarAcademy.com who are tearing into the tab and the Guitar Pro files from this lesson right now. And as always, let me know what you think in the comments. Have a great practice, and I will see you in the next lick video.